if I seem somewhat lacking of enthusiasm and energy, it's because as of the time of this recording, I'm not exactly feeling so well. And additionally, I'm quite disappointed with the fact that I could not complete this run on master difficulty. I would like to attempt this challenge again in the future, but for now, I have to deliver what I said, and this was the challenge that my subscriber had requested. Before I get started, there will be various timestamps shown on the screen right now. The first part will be me talking about previous comments and my mindset moving forward. The next part will be discussing the new and improved build that I'm carrying into this Master Law sector. And the third would be, well, the actual gameplay itself. So skip to which part you want to see, and I'm just going to jump straight into it right now. So if there's one thing I believe when attempting a Master Law sector, and any of the challenges that I have ever been posted, is that you have to try to do your best of your ability. That is why I was so utterly crushed, defeated, and demoralized when I could not clear this law sector, this specific challenge, on master difficulty. And it was because of that I made it my own personal goal to reattempt it and, well, be successful this time. One of the commenters on the original video actually left behind his build and suggestion, and I actually used that build and suggestion. However, at the time, after attempting it for a few hours, more or less approaching it with a very negative outlook already because I had failed it once before, I didn't really have high hopes, and I more or less called it quits after failing to pass the first two barrier champions. Little did I know that Bungie actually had to, well, fix the interaction between Radiant and High Energy Fire. Now, this did not occur to me at the time, but if Radiant and High Energy Fire could stack, that would make for a freaking easy run. And I don't say it lightly. But because it could not stack together now, well, I thought any chance I had of doing this run was basically voided. Now, wouldn't it be? But that's when I thought to myself, what if I could do it even after this? I guess that would be a testament to my resolve to want to try and attempt to better what I could do. But enough self-gratification aside, I don't really like that, and I'm gonna jump straight into the build of the video. But before I do that, I will say that I'm not going to show the many failed attempts because there are way too many to really count, and if I showed all of them, this could easily be a 30-minute video. Before explaining the build, to avoid repetition, every piece of armor had a resilience mod equipped. Now for the helmet, I was rocking double sidearm targeting and elemental charge. For the arms, I was using Mechaneer's Tricksleeves, which is very important, with double sidearm dexterity and a surprise attack mod. For the chest piece, I was rocking double armor of the Dying Stars and Enduring Wells. For the legs, I was using double sidearm holster, not very helpful, but I'll still use it anyways, and a Font of Might. And lastly, for the class item, I was using Flame Harvesting with another Enduring Wells mod. For the weapons, other than Devil's Ruin, I was using Fractatus and a rocket launcher. Honestly, it didn't matter what weapon I was using because I can't shoot it anyways, but this will be important later. And as far as the subclass goes, I'll only point out those that are, well, relatively important in this entire run, which is the fact that I'm using a 3-shot golden gun instead of the 6-shot or blade barrage, the acrobatic dodge, the healing grenade, as well as the aspects that allow for the most number of fragments that I can use. The reason for that is so I can improve my resilience, mobility, and whatnot. Although, if I recall correctly, I don't think there was a boost to mobility for Solar. In any case, the one thing that was very important, however, is the increase in duration to your Radiant and Restoration abilities. That fragment was single-handedly the most important fragment in this entire run. Now as we start the run, the first thing I did was kill the knight and let the acolytes escape into the next room. This is actually very important because from my, well, many attempts, I know that it takes anywhere between 2 to 3 kills to get one solar elemental well using flame harvesting. So I let the acolytes go, and basically what I'm trying to do is make sure I can at least have one solar elemental well available, which is, well, right in front of you, before I swap to Fractatus. And this is why Fractatus is so good. With Quick Draw and Quick Access Sling, I'm able to swap on and off of Fractatus really quickly. This is basically to go hand in hand with the sidearm dexterity, so I can quickly swap to Devil's Ruin when I am wounded, to then allow me to melt the barrier champion. And so I did that, and well, the barrier champion was more or less destroyed upon its spawn. Well, the first one at least. The next one required a bit more setting up, so what I did was I killed a lot of the acolytes, got more of my solar elemental wells, picked it up to not only get the Font of Might procced, but also to regenerate my acrobatic dodge, which takes quite considerable time, you know, to really build. But after that was charged, I got the acrobatic dodge, and I got the Tricksleeve damage bonus, and I melted the barrier champion away. The witch spawned, and honestly, the witch was so easy to kill, it was just a joke. All I really needed to do was make sure I don't get hit by its attacks, which, you know, you can still absorb a few hits of it because this is not an Arc Lost sector. I decided to let the barrier champion go, as well as many acolytes as possible, so that I have as much chance as possible to build as many solar elemental wells later to melt him away. The unstoppable spawn, and they were a joke and they were quickly dissolved. But after stepping forward, here comes another challenge. You see, some of the acolytes here actually have what is known as the Hive Splinter. The Hive Splinter is a shotgun-like weapon that deals solar damage, and it can more or less 2-burst you. Well, I think it's 3 bursts, but you know, it's dangerous nonetheless. But the problem is, when you have that and the Hive Guardian, which has Blade Barrage because it's solar burn, it will more or less melt you, so I had to play like a chicken. I had to hide, and I kept on peek shooting with the Devil's Ruin laser until I was close enough to get him down so I could finish him and, well, quickly run away. After that was done, I had to ensure that I had solar elemental wells available so that I could use them to melt the barrier champion. I did so, and I was brought very close to death because I was acting very cocky here, thinking that, you know, the barrier champion probably won't even kill me. And well, before almost dying, I managed to unload the Devil's Ruin and melt the barrier champion alive. I finished off the acolyte and went to the next room. That was the last of the annoying barrier champions, but there were still some more annoyances yet to come. The next few barrier champions in the next room would just be with those Hive Shredders, those void damaging things, which deal little to no damage, but the acolytes here had Hive Splinters, so if 2 of them got into my face, they could literally melt me alive. And as you can see, that almost became a run-ending moment. So my plan here was to, well, get rid of the boss, because the boss could shoot into where I was hiding, and so long as the boss was alive, that would be annoying. But at the same time, I needed to keep as many Thrall alive so I could have a chance to get the solar elemental well. Well, soon you will see it's not necessarily as important as just having the Mechaneer Tricksleeve buff with Radiant. Anyways, moving forward, I managed to clear through most of the ads, taking care to kill the acolytes. However, I made a mistake and I nearly died, and you know, the run almost ended like I said earlier. I then made the choice to, well, pop my golden gun. And as you all well know, with Solar 3.0, the 3-shot golden gun actually received a damage reduction. This damage reduction definitely saved me. I let the golden gun timer expire before advancing, so at least anyone who's watching knows that I only attempted this with Devil's Ruin, and I didn't necessarily use the golden gun to deal any damage whatsoever. I moved forward, disposed of some of the acolytes, and then I decided to take on the barrier champions. Killing the barrier champion and repeating it for the next one. And at 10 minutes and 41 seconds, I can confidently say it is possible to beat a Master Lost sector solo flawlessly with just Devil's Ruin. As always, I appreciate all of you who have stopped by to support my style of content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care, and I really want to express my gratitude for the unloading 11,000 rounds of Sweet Business getting over 190,000 views. That's a number I never thought I could ever say during my rather short stint on YouTube so far. So really, thank you guys so much for it, and I'll see you in the next video.